This is Gigi's channel, where we share our expertise.
Hi, this is Vasvi again for you. In the previous video, we saw a few trigonometric ratios. We had learned the 6 trigonometric ratios, right? Now in this video, we are going to talk about trigonometry and the particular part of trigonometry which deals with the relationship between the angles and sides of a right angle triangle. Now, as I told you earlier, in these type of trigonometric ratios problem, we normally use these first three ratios only. Now, before going to the problem, let me tell you one thing. In trigonometry, we normally take, when we find the angles, round it off to 4 decimal places. I'll just give you an example. Say for instance, if you're going to find out sine 22, okay? Using the calculator. So one thing you have to keep in mind is that see that your calculator is in degree mode. So you would find DEG written on the calculator. Make sure that you are on the degree mode and then press sine 22 and you would get the value 0.37460659 and so on. Okay, it keeps going like that. I told you you need only 4 numbers after the decimal point here. So we need to stop the number here, right here, okay? So how do you round it off? What you need to do is just look at the next number. So that's a 0. 0 is less than 5. If it is less than 5, just ignore the numbers after that. Just leave it. You can just omit them and your sine 20 would be 0.3746. Let's take another number. Say for instance, if you're finding out sine 21. Use your calculator and find its value. It's 21 degrees here. So your answer would be something like this. It would be some 0.35836 likewise. Now again I told you, you just need 4 numbers after the decimal place. So you need to round it off here. Now look at the next number this time. It is 6. When this number is 5 or more, add 1 to the previous number and leave these numbers. So your answer would be 0.358 and 3 plus 1 it would be 4. So this is how you round the numbers to 4 decimal places. Is that clear? So this is what we are going to do in the problems also. Let's see how to use a sine ratio. So the sine ratio, I would say, take it as SAW, okay? SAW, S-O-H, where the S represents sine degree, sine theta, and the O is opposite, and the H represents hypotenuse. So you remember, I hope you remember the sine ratio, sine theta equals opposite over the hypotenuse. So let's do some problems based on this. So I would do the first one like, okay, here's the right angle triangle they've given you. So let me name it as A, B and C. So this is a right angle triangle ABC, right angled at B, okay? Now the values given are, they have given you the degree measures as 37, okay? And here you have 19. You are to find out this side, okay, this X. So now just remember, you have to understand that we are using sine theta for this. I'll tell you why. Because your angle is over here and the side you need to find out is opposite and the side they've given you is hypotenuse. So just look at the sign you're going to find out and the side you know. So that's opposite and hypotenuse. then it should be sine ratio which you are using here. Understood? So let me use the ratio. Now you already know sine theta is opposite over hypotenuse. So here I know the degree measures. So I can say that sine 37, okay, is equal to opposite side. Opposite, we don't know what it is, so it is an unknown side. So I just take it as x, and the hypotenuse is 19. Did you get that? So you did this. Now you need to find x, right? So you have to undo the 19 here. For that, you have to multiply both the sides by 19. Okay? Multiply both the left and the right hand side with 90. So you times it with 19. So you get your x is equal to 19 times sine 37. So next you're going to find out what is sine 37, right? So that's going to be 19 times your sine 37 is 0.6018. Use your calculator to find this. 15023 and so on. Now I told you, you always round the trigonometric ratio into to 4 decimal points, right? So that would be like, since this number is less than 5, I can just omit these, okay? Just leave these. So your number is 19 times 0.6018. That gives you an answer. Use your calculator to find the answer. Yeah, I got it as 11.434485. Since this is the side of a triangle, I can round this number to 1 decimal place. So I'm going to round it off to 1 decimal place. This is 3, which is less than 5. So again, ignore these and your answer would be 11.4. So the x measured is 11.4. So this is a problem where the opposite side is not known. They have given you the hypotenuse and the degree measures. Now, let's do another problem, okay, another sum. And this time, triangle is here. And again, I name it as A, B and C. Now, the measures given are like the angle is set here, okay. So that is 63 degrees. It is given as 63 degrees. And this measure is given as 10. Okay, the BC is 10. You need to find the hypotenuse side. The side given is your opposite side, and the side you need to find out is your hypotenuse. Opposite side, and this one is hypotenuse. So again, you're going to use sine theta. So that is sine 63. Theta is 63 here. Sine 63 is equal to opposite. Opposite, you know, it is 10. And the hypotenuse, we don't know, so you take it as x. Got it? Now, you have to undo this division x, right? So, multiply both the sides by x. So, what happens? This x and x will get cancelled, and you would have x sine 63 equals 10. Okay? 63 equals 10. Okay. Now, you just need to find the x. So, undo the sine 63 by dividing both sides by sine 63. Okay? So, that's sine 63 here and sine 63 here as well. This gets cancelled. So, you are left with x equals 10 over sine 63. So that would be, use your calculator to find sine 63, and that would give you 10 over 0.8910065 and something like that. Okay. Now as I told you, you're going to round it off to this number. Here the 0 is less than 5, so just forget this. So when you do 10 over 0.8910 will give you the answer as 11.223623763, likewise it goes. So again, since it is the side, right, it is a hypotenuse side, for side you just need to round it up to one decimal place. So this number, the next number is 2, this is less than 5, so you can truncate this portion. Okay, and you got your x as, your x is equal to 11.2. So now you have learned how to find the opposite side given the hypotenuse and the degree measure. And the second one we did was how to find the hypotenuse when the opposite and the angle is given. Opposite side and the angle is given. Okay. Now the third one is, your opposite and the hypotenuse side is given, how do you find out the angle? Okay. This time you are going to find out the angle. Now they have given you the opposite side and the adjacent side. You need to find out the degree measures. Okay. So the opposite side is given as 1. The the hypotenuse side is given as 2. You have to find this angle. This angle is given as theta. So they haven't mentioned what the angle is. We are going to use the given information to find the angle. This side, the sides which we know is opposite to the angle and the hypotenuse, right? So this is sine theta again. Sine theta equals opposite over hypotenuse. Now here we don't know what the theta is, so just leave it as sine theta. So sine theta opposite is given as 1 and the hypotenuse is 2, right? So you have got sine theta equals 0.5. Make it a decimal number. Now to find the theta, when you take the sine to the other side of the equal to sign, it becomes sine inverse. Okay, sine inverse of 0.5. You have an option to find the sine inverse in your calculator. Use that and find the sine inverse of 0.5. 30 degrees. Okay, it shows 30, and so your theta is 30 degrees. Remember, we use the sine inverse, the inverse trigonometric ratios we use to find the angle. Okay, whether it is sine inverse or cos inverse or tan inverse, we find these to get the unknown angle. The 3 possible problems which you can expect with sine ratio. So let's do the next cos in the next class. Thank you. Bye.